Now, Up and Coming, a show fully dedicated to new music, new artists, with songs written by new songwriters. Today on Up and Coming.
In this hour on Up and Coming, some of the more great songs on the way. Stick around for these. Yeah, it's an artist that comes out of Georgia. It's got a song called, it's fabulous, called Stop Time. Yeah, coming up. And we have a great reggae type of worship song. This is fabulous. Check this out. Yeah, that's a great one. Trust the Lord in all your might. That is a new artist. His name, he comes out of Gunnison, Colorado, and it's called. And that's coming. And there's just some of the songs coming up this hour on Up and Coming, right here on GJRB Online. 50-minute music hours, more great music. And again, once again, we'll repeat the details of how you can get your song on Up and Coming. So stay with me for that. And also when this show will air, what times here on GJRB Online. Here on Spreaker, glad you could stick with me. Got some more great, in addition, got some more great music, including Keith Brooks and a new group called Rainy. Stick around, it's all coming up right here on GJRB. Up and Coming. Let's get this started and keep the hour going. 50-minute music hours right now. A song that absolutely sounds kind of like a Spencer Davis group, you know? Little Kevin Gross here. Sound of a Breaking Hearts. Up and Coming.
All over the world, it happens to boys, it happens to girls. Time marches forward, it moves too damn fast. One breath is your fast, baby. One breath is your last. And then there's a sound, always a sound, the sound of a breaking heart. That's the sound of a breaking heart. Oh no, that's the sound of a breaking heart. That's the sound of breaking heart. That's the sound of a breaking heart. Damn, damn, damn. Well, you can't run, but you can't hide. And no matter how lonely you feel, you leave people behind. Well, they can't save you, baby. They can't keep you alive. No amount of money, no amount of time. They start making a sound. Hear the sound of a breaking heart. That's the sound of a breaking heart. That's the sound. That's the sound of a breaking heart. That's the sound of a breaking heart. That's the sound of a breaking heart. Oh, that's the sound of a breaking heart. Can you hear it, baby? When you lose somebody you love, there ain't nothing you can do. Damn, a good disposition can buy you some time, but no matter how hard you try, you leave people behind. It's a hard kind of living, baby. sit around trying to look pretty, but you're fake, deceiving many people whose advantage you take. Some may disagree and you put them down. One-sided slander you spread all over town. I got real tired of your conniving ways. Decided it was time, so I can't stay. I'll carry on without you another day. But here's what I'm saying. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. I say so long, baby, baby, bye-bye. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. I don't need you no more. Bye-bye. Drama queen, always seeking sympathy, making others look bad so maybe they will see how you're always right, everybody else is wrong. Let somebody cross you up, you make sure they are gone. I got real tired of your conniving ways. Decided it was time that I can't stay. I'll carry on without you another day. And here's what I'm saying. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. I say so long, baby, baby, bye-bye. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. I don't need you no more. Bye-bye. Got real tired of your conniving ways. Decided it was time and I can't stay. I'll carry on without you another day. But here's what I say. Yeah. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. I say so long, baby, baby, bye-bye. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. Don't need you no more. Bye-bye. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. Don't need you no more. Bye.
Yeah, there you go. Keith Brooks is from Hampstead, North Carolina. So long, baby, baby, bye-bye. And he's got this played on some stations, and of course, right here on GJRB Online, Keith Brooks. And we introduced he was playing quite a bit on the Debbie Scott Radio Network before they went off the air. And we miss Debbie Scott and hope that maybe eventually she'll come back. That would be great if she did. And we miss her music. And he's one of the fabulous artists that played on her show. We got another one coming up on a future show, too. So stay with us for Up and Coming here on GJRB Online. Coming up next is another group from Bath in the UK. Stay with us. Up and Coming right here on GJRB Online. Brought to you by Reverb Nation, where you too can get your songs on Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation is a place especially for emerging artists. If you're one of those that's an emerging artist and like to get their song on the radio, hey, what a great place. But Reverb Nation, I mean, these people are absolutely fabulous. Their site is incredible. It's specifically dedicated to new emerging artists. And if you're one of those that's an emerging artist who would like to get their song on Reverb Nation, as the details, I don't know exactly how to do it, but I'm sure somebody does. Reverb Nation, it's ReverbNation. Fabulous. And if you're a emerging artist and like to, and that'd be the place to go. Reverb Nation. And they have the best in music. Got more stuff coming up next. Stay with me. More Up and Coming continues on the GJRB Online Network. Stay tuned.
You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon.
If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming.
And programming in other great music formats.
Like blues, urban, including rap. Also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on
currently at KSDR Studios, it's 88 degrees.
This is where you hear GJRB online on FM. Spreaker FM 88.9.
And we're back on the air here on GJRB Online as we're in our wrap-up final gun lap hour of Up and Coming here on GJRB Online, so stay with me. We've got a lot of really good stuff coming your way, so I hope you'll be with me for the rest of the show, as we have about a little over 30 minutes left to go of our program, and we still got some more great songs to play for you, some emerging artists that we haven't had on the air yet. And you're going to hear a lot of them right here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And includes some newer artists, including Frank Tidwell. He's our new artist from Georgia. We also have an artist, we also have a remake of an Elvis song coming up. So you're going to want to check that out. Also, a couple of them in our cover song segment. And then we'll wrap up with a few more good ones as we wrap up our show, including music from... let's see, we're going to wrap it up with some jazz with Chris Wells and D.B. Hankister. Should be an interesting one. And if we have time, we'll throw in the latest on our smooth jazz list, Pete Rylick, and that'll probably wrap up our show. So I hope you enjoyed the program. Up and Coming on GJRB Online. So why don't we keep the show going and bring you some of the best in emerging artists here on Up and Coming on GJRB Online on Spreaker, across America on GJRB's fabulous podcast site, Spreaker, GJRB Online, and glad you could be with me right here on GJRB Online, right here, GJRB Online. Yeah, you know it. Getting back into it. This is been playing our playlist for quite some time. His name is Ken Arbaji. It's what I'll call Life So Far.
Says we are way down the road of life. Did things work out the way you thought they would? Would you change the path you're on if you could? Or would you choose to live the life you've lived? Some of us have taken off, and some of us have stalled. Be careful judging who has won. The answer's deep inside. Me, I don't think I will change things much. Maybe I could lighten up a bit. I have plenty to be thankful for. There are times we're down living life so far. Your life back then and tried to guess who you might be now. Would you have nailed your profile to a T, or would you have been off by miles and miles? Well, some of us have had it good, and some of us are down. Life is what you make of it, so get up off the ground. Me, I don't think I would change things much. Maybe I could lighten up a bit. To be thankful for. There are times we're dealt bad cards, but we learn from all the scars. It's all just part of living life so far. It's all part of living life so far. It's all just part of living life so far.
Yeah, new one there. Art Banshee around. So pretty good. Here we got weather on the fives coming up here in just a couple of minutes, and a quick reminder that we have we're talking about when this show is going to air. Right now, this show has no time slot as of now. Don't know when this show will air, what days it's going to air, but we're going to try to make it either on the weekends or sometime within the week. We're going to be airing it spontaneously for now, which means that whenever you see a posting for this show on any one of our Facebook, any one of the groups, including Meet the Spreakers, Spreaker Tavern, and the GJRB online listener page, and you see the show up and coming, you know we're on the air. Otherwise, don't have a scheduled time slot for this show as we continue our spontaneous summer. And we got some more good stuff coming your way. Like I said before, don't know when we're going to be. I'm going to be working on a schedule, but it probably won't launch until probably November sometime at this point. So I'll let you know what's happening, how we're going to schedule programming here on GJRB Online. So we're going to be spontaneous all the way through to November. And we'll give you all the details. And, of course, Christmas time, we have spontaneous programming anyway with holiday programming. And then 2020, we'll have something new and different to start off with. So keep it here on GJRB Online. We got some more really good stuff on the way. Up and coming continues. But right now, though, it is time to take a look at our weather on the fives, courtesy of our good friends at Weather Nation. That's the place to go for national weather, and we do it quite often here on GJRB Online. We give you national weather through our friends at the Weather Nation. And here's some of the high temperatures today. Some of the low temps coming up tonight, expected for a lot of people. These are the evening temperatures in Spokane, Washington, 63 degrees. Boise, Idaho will be 67, 56 degrees in Elko. 65 degrees tonight in Colwood, Sacramento, California. 67 in San Diego, California. 65 in Cincinnati, Ohio. 70 degrees in Cleveland. 70 also expected for people in Washington, D.C., I believe. 64 degrees, 73 in Jacksonville, Florida, and 73 in Tampa, Florida right now. Let's hear the National Weather Spectrum and what's going on from Weather Nation.
Thanks for joining us for your East Coast regional forecast. We're headed out to Boston, Massachusetts, where the start to the day out there was fairly on the quiet side. As you can see, a little bit of cloud cover happening, but also a little bit of that sunshine peeking through. As we continue throughout the rest of today, looking to stay mostly on the quiet side throughout areas into the northeast, and then as we head into our Saturday morning, temperatures not too bad. If you are waking up for your Saturday morning, 60s and 70s expected tonight. 70 in New York, 65 in Pittsburgh, 72 in Chicago and Lexington. You'll only be dipping down to 64 degrees for your overnight temperatures. Our Saturday, though, we are going to see that threat of severe weather into areas of the upper Midwest. Michigan, you're included all the way back over towards Iowa, but areas into the northeast, it looks like you're steering clear of the severe weather threat. We do have this high pressure system that will be just dominating the area as we go into our Saturday morning. But you can see the upper Midwest already starting off with some rain showers out there, some isolated rain showers in the forecast for the northeast as we head into our afternoon hours. And that's going to be lasting into our evening hours. Most of the region, though, looking to stay on the drier side, but we could see some strong storms into the upper Midwest as we do continue throughout our Saturday. Saturday's high temperatures, though, not warming up too much. Seeing nice, mild temperatures for the beginning of our weekend here. 88 in Philadelphia, 85 in Pittsburgh, 87 in Lexington. Chicago, you're only warming up to 88 degrees for the beginning of your weekend. So Sunday morning, we're waking up to clear conditions. Shortly after that, though, you can see some of that rain settling into the northeast here, becoming a little bit more widespread as we make our way into the afternoon around 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Once we get a little bit of that daytime heating, the rain showers are going to be popping off a little bit more. Anywhere from Maine all the way down towards Maryland, you could be seeing a few isolated rain showers here and there, pretty much continuing for the rest of the day. Even as we head into our Monday morning, a little bit of that rain looking to hang around here and there. Sunday's high temperatures, though, it'll be a little bit warmer than what we're seeing for our Saturday. Chicago, you're looking at 91 degrees. Same for Detroit as well. Philadelphia, you're also warming up to 91. D.C., you'll be looking at 93 degrees for your high on your Sunday. 85 in Burlington and 83 in Minneapolis. So our forecast Monday morning shows that cold front will be sweeping through the upper Midwest there. This is going to bring in the chance of some heavy rain showers happening there. A few isolated pockets of rain as well for areas into the northeast. Most of the region, though, looking to stay on the drier side, but we're also going to be getting a little bit of that cloud cover throughout our Monday and even into our Tuesday. So not seeing too much sunshine for the beginning of our work week here, and nonetheless, a few isolated pockets of rain showers here and there, even as we do head into our Tuesday morning for areas into the central U.S. Monday's high temperatures, though, take a look at Minneapolis. With that cold front moving through, you're going to be cooling down quite a bit, only reaching the upper 70s for your highs on your Monday afternoon. 87 in Pittsburgh, though, 90 in New York. Philadelphia warming up even more for your Monday at 94 degrees expected for your high. 87 in Burlington and 87 in Bangor as well. So Springfield, Massachusetts, you're actually looking at dry conditions throughout your entire weekend. Might see a little bit of cloud cover out there, though. But take a look at your work week next week. Just in time for the work week, we're looking at that rain settling in, thunderstorms in the forecast as well. But temperatures will be cooling off a little bit into the 90s for your Sunday and your Monday. By Wednesday of next week, though, we'll be back into the 80s, even into our Thursday, only reaching the lower 80s for our high. Richmond, Virginia, you're looking at dry conditions all the way up until next Wednesday. That's when the thunderstorms start to roll through, and even into our Thursday, we'll also be looking at a little bit of wet weather. Let's head down towards the southeast, though. We want to take a look at Miami, Florida, where you can see the start to the day out there. Not too much going on, but of course, we've been talking about a lot of rain throughout Florida, Chelsea.
Yeah, as you look back off in the distance there behind the city, you can see kind of the dark clouds. And one or two of those storms are possible to continue to linger off and on throughout the rest of the daytime hours. We're also going to look back into areas that have been so dry, finally starting to get that humidity moving back in. Not that we really want it, but we're definitely going to start to feel a little more muggy as we go into next week. Heavy rain showers continue off and on through Florida, and then some isolated storms pretty much along the Gulf are also possible as those storms that have been in Florida try and rise to the north just a little bit, or I should say move to the north a little bit. Record low dew point in Georgia this morning, or excuse me, Thursday, 55 was what came in, and it breaks the old record of 66. 55 is extremely dry, so when we have temperatures well into the 80s, but a dew point of 55, it doesn't add any of that extra feel, and actually sometimes it can take away from what it feels like outside on our skin. So that is amazing. And we're going to also start to notice those conditions, the dew points rising. As we look at some of the rainfall reports back from yesterday in Florida, upwards of 3 and almost 4 inches of rain, and Clearwater, Miami, about 2.5 inches. So these are the type of showers that we still can expect throughout the day today and what we can expect going into our Saturday. It's this stationary boundary that's going to fuel those storms through the evening hours. Once we get past sunset, a lot of them kind of fade, but as we go into Saturday, the sunshine's going to refuel them along that boundary. Saturday temperatures starting in the mid and upper 60s for most of us. Some of us closer to the Gulf are going to be in the mid 70s. Miami only cools off to 81 degrees overnight. That is sticky when you factor in the humidity. Here's that boundary. It's going to fuel some storms over to Jacksonville, Tampa, down to Miami, scattered in nature, and then back to New Orleans and up to Mobile, where we'll be watching for these storms to start to move in off and on throughout the day on Saturday. Wouldn't say it's going to be a washout weekend by any means, but just know better chances for an isolated storm to fire anywhere along the Gulf because of that system moving to the north is very possible. High temperatures on Saturday reach into the 80s and low 90s. We're continuing to get back to about average and going to settle there, but now we're factoring in the possibility of that humidity to rise as well. So it's going to feel well above where we should be once we get into the end of the weekend. Sunday, you'll notice we start to have isolated storms firing in parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, isolated storms firing in southern Georgia, and we're still battling a couple of those downpours in Florida. High temperatures on Sunday, pretty much average, upper 80s, low 90s, but now we're going to start to factor in the humidity. So it could feel a little bit more like we're in those mid 90s for us. Notice most of the rain isolated around the Gulf, and most of it stays in Florida. Nashville, Tennessee, looking pretty good. We're going to be mainly dry until Tuesday. Better chance for some storms to pass then. And as we look to Tampa, off and on wet weather continues. Temperatures barely budge as we sit in the low 90s. You can also head over to Twitter. We have breaking weather news.
And there you go, weather on the 5s right here on GJRB Online. The 25 and 45 minutes past each hour on all music shows, 25 and 55 on talk shows, and right here on GJRB Online. Wrapping up our show with some more great music. This next artist coming out of, and this next artist, we're going to try to fit as much as we possibly can in the next 15 minutes or so. So we're going to wrap up this show. And we're going to get all these songs in that I plan on getting in. If we don't get them in, we'll have them on the next edition of Up and Coming. But right now, let's go to an artist that we were premiering here on Up and Coming. And he is out of a group, out of a town called Adairsville, Georgia. And this is an artist by the name of Frank Tidwell. This is called Stop Time on Up and Coming.
In my dream we danced all night underneath the street corner lights, surrounded by the neon glow of fireflies. I don't want to wake up now, ever have to wonder how, and think about why we had to say goodbye. Standing on the brink of forever, we had the world beneath our feet. Never known this crazy kind of freedom. I just wish this dream was reality. On every quiet little moment, I'm staring into your eyes. I seem to break away from this world I'm in. You made me so high, I don't wanna come down from this place up in the sky. I can't believe I'm still dreaming. Wish I could just stop time. Stop time. I'm afraid, so there I sit between the giving in and giving up, between a rock and a hard place. This is where I'm stuck. My heart just won't let me let go of your sweet
away from this world I'm in. You make me so high, I don't wanna come down from this place up in the sky. I can't believe I'm still dreaming. Wish I could just stop time. Stop
There you go, Frank Tidwell from Georgia and Stop Time. Gary J. Russell with you on Up and Coming. We're wrapping up our show here on GJRB Online. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the program, and you can enjoy this program on demand all weekend right here on GJRB Online, so you can find out all the great you missed all the great songs. You'll catch them again on Up and Coming right here on GJRB Online. And if you'd like to get your song on there, all you got to do is just, again, send me an email with GaryJ65@yahoo.com and let me know. And I will, if you have a song that you want on the air, your band recorded, just send me an MP3 with that song in a attachment to get to Up and Coming, GaryJ65@yahoo.com or GaryJ021361@gmail.com, and I'll get the songs. I'll review it, and more than likely, it will be on the next edition of Up and Coming right here on GJRB Online. So, like I said, just get that song out there. And, of course, if you are one of those that have that song available, if you have your song available on other social sites, you can do that way too, or other music sites that deal in emerging artists such as Reverb Nation. Just let me know where it's at and what song it is. I review songs every week on the for the next program, so just drop me a line and we'll get your song on the radio here on GJRB Online. This next artist comes out of Chicago, I believe, and they do a remake of a Elvis Presley song. As a matter of fact, it's this Elvis Presley song. Check it out.
If you wanna be kissed, well, you got to kiss me too. Oh yeah, if you wanna be kissed, well, you got to kiss me too. Oh yeah.
That is a minor song for Elvis Presley, about which he recorded back in early 1956 and entered into the charts. The song is called One-Sided Love Affair, and it's in our cover section today. We bring it to you by an artist named Ronnie G. One-Sided Love Affair, a cover song on Up and Coming on GJRB.
If you wanna be loved, well, baby, you gotta love me too. If you wanna be loved, baby, you gotta love me too. Oh yeah, 'cause I ain't for no one-sided love affair. If you wanna be kissed, well, you gotta kiss me too. Oh yeah, if you wanna be kissed, baby, you gotta kiss me too. Oh yeah, 'cause I ain't for no one-sided love affair. Well, a fair exchange bears no robbery, and the whole world will know that it's true. Understanding solve those problems, baby, that's what I'm telling you. If you wanna be hugged, well, you gotta hug me too. Oh yeah, if you wanna be hugged, baby, you gotta hug me too. Oh yeah, 'cause I ain't for no one-sided love affair. and the whole world will know that it's true. Understanding, solve those problems, baby, that's what I'm telling you. If you wanna be loved, baby, you gotta love me too. Oh yeah, if you wanna be loved, baby, you gotta love me too. Oh yeah, 'cause I ain't for no one-sided love affair. 'Cause I ain't for no one-sided love affair. I ain't for no one-sided love affair.
And like I said, I believe he's from Chicago. Not quite sure, but I think he is. That's fabulous. That's Ronnie G. It's G-E-E. So he says his name. And I'm looking that up right now. Let me double sure of that. And let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and mark that. I think I got it from this one. So I'm going to mark it. And see if we get his name in there. And there it is. Yeah, by the way, yeah, Aaron, let me see for sure. Yep, Chicago, Illinois. I was right. Chicago, Illinois, Ronnie G. And remake of an Elvis song called One-Sided Love Affair. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here on our up-and-coming show. Some songs that didn't make it on our show this time around that we didn't all have time to play included... let's see here. We have a song that we did not get time to play. Fortunately, we ran out of time on our show, and we'll get it on the next edition. Some of the ones that that did not make the playlist, made the playlist, but unfortunately didn't have time for. A group called Dulcimer out of Manchester, UK. We didn't get him on, and we didn't get Rainy on, R-A-I-N-Y, from Bath, UK. We ran out of time for that one too. But that will be on our next edition of Up and Coming, Rainy, with that song. So we got all this coming up on the next edition of Up and Coming here on GJRB Online. And that was Not Lead to the Light. We'll have that on the next show. Okay, so we're working on the next up and coming show, and that will be I'll be working on the playlist for that show and a air date TBA. So watch for postings on the GJRB Spreaker public site, on Facebook, Twitter, and also on all the other social sites, as well as Convo and MeWe, and we'll have that show on another day. So just watch for postings. And, of course, you never know when we're going to be on the air. Just watch for Facebook followers. Watch our postings. And if you see us in Meet the Spreakers, Spreaker Tavern, and the GJRB online listener page, and you see those postings, we are on live. Same with Twitter. Twitter listeners who listen to us on Twitter, I'm the Radio Maniac. You see that posting with the widget, just click it, and it'll open up, and we're on the air, and you can hear the show. Up and Coming right here on GJRB Online, and always fabulous to bring you the best in new emerging artists right here on GJRB Online. And we're winding down to the end of the program, so we're going to say goodbye with a fabulous song that was remade as a jazz selection by a guy named Pete Rylick, and a fabulous version of this one. And it's going to take us out. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed Up and Coming, and we'll have another show real soon. Have yourself your best evening ever. So long, everyone. Leave you now with Eleanor Rigby, remake of the old Beatles tune to take us out. Have yourself your best evening ever, and thank you for listening to Up and Coming on GJRB.
This is the GJRB Online Network.